Hold on a second. Erica, wait a moment and try again. Okay. There we go. Let's do it live. Let's do it live, Amar. Let's do it live. What's up, Amar? Look at Amar in his T-shirt. Amar's slumming it like your old buddy Josh. Oh, my goodness. How are you? What's going on in San Diego?
What's going on? We got, let's see, my kids are in soccer now. We're getting ready for a kindergarten graduation. So I think this topic is timely.
When's last day of school? Like middle of June?
So graduation's tomorrow. Last day of school is like Tuesday of next week.
Gotcha. Well, you guys go late, man. We've been out for already 3 weeks. Fantastic. Of course, we start the beginning of August too, which is stupid. But what are you gonna do? All right, so don't have anyone here yet. Don't have one person here, Amar. That's it. So there we go. There are some people coming on board. Got some people.
I don't see anything on my side. I don't know if it's I don't know. Put something in the comments if you can
announce your channel again, Amar, so people can follow you.
Yeah. So Client First Capital Learning is our YouTube channel. You know, get off of Josh's channel. Come join us on my channel. PG version. There we go. Now I'm seeing comments. All right, there we go.
I just put that on there.
Oh,
okay. Another? Yeah.
They all say you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we can ask, where is everyone from?
We don't have many people right now. We got one guy. We got 4 people here. We don't have a whole crowd, so we'll go through it. Let's just go through tomorrow. We still have people here.
Yeah,
right on. So do your introduce yourself, your disclosures. Of course, I'll bring it up here, and then introduce where people can find you first and foremost. So I'm gonna one second. I gotta bring you up. Oops, wrong one. There we go. All right, go ahead, Amar. Yeah, right on.
My name is Amar Shah, and I'm the Chief Investment Officer for Client First Capital, which is based out of San Diego. And you can find our information at our website, which is clientfirstcap.com. And we also have a newsletter. You can subscribe to that newsletter on our website. And our YouTube channel is Client First Capital Learning on YouTube. So 3 ways to kind of get in touch with us.
My comment didn't post. Hold on a second. Ma. Yeah, my comment's not posting. That's weird. I wonder why
I'm seeing it on mine.
You are?
Yeah, Yo Ma.
Yeah, okay.
Josh Scanlon, Heritage Wealth Planning, and the Heritage Wealth Planning Facebook.
All right, that's weird. I'm not seeing it on mine, but all right. So let's go over disclosures. Want me to? Can you forward slide?
Yeah, I can. So we are a SEC registered firm, which basically means that everything we're talking about is educational purposes only. We have not entered into a client agreement, and we're not taking your specific situation or your specific circumstances into account. If you have any questions,
if they have questions, you're gonna have to see it because I can't see any comments, Amar. So just FYI. So let me just.
I only see your comments.
That's it. All right.
We got technical difficulties on YouTube here.
Technical difficulties with the old man Scanlon. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
All right, keep going, Amar.
All right. So what is a 529 plan? Today's conversation is really more about navigating when you have an overfunded 529 plan, right? And what are the next steps around that? And so a 529 plan, for those of you that may not know, is a savings vehicle, a tax advantage savings vehicle for college savings, trade schools, vocational schools. You can even use some for K through 12, $10,000 per year. These are all state-run plans. I see Bob's put a comment in here as well. So yeah, I think there's something wrong with YouTube, Josh. It's you're not seeing any comments. I'm seeing only yours and Bob's comments. Nobody's seeing my comments. So it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. We'll just drive
Keep
on.
trucking. Yeah.
We'll just drive on.
So one of the things here is that 529 plans are run by the states. So every state has some different rules, differ from state to state. So want to make sure that you're aware of the state rules in the state that you're in. And then the IRS regulations on the investments within a 529 plan, can only be different options. You can only choose different options twice a year. Now, that doesn't impact new money that's going into the plan, but with your existing funds, you can only change it twice a year. And that kind of gives you an overview of a broad base of a 529 plan. Some considerations, we're talking about college savings, there are a lot of benefits and some drawbacks to 529 plans. One benefit is that there's a high contribution limit. You can accelerate your annual gifts for up to 5 years all at once. Put a lump sum. Grandma, grandpa, they could also do that as well. You have different plan locations, right? There's 50 different plans out there, so you can kind of change the states and whatnot to kind of maintain the best options or that are available for you. Like, for example, in California, you don't get to deduct any funding that goes into a 529 plan. But
Wow.
If you're in another state, you can deduct up to I think up to $2,000 per year that you contribute is deductible on your state taxes. So
I mean, in West Virginia, you could deduct like 25% of your AGI. This is a long time ago. I don't know if it's still like that. It's like, man, that was sweet though. It was sweet.
Yeah. On top of that, you get tax deferred growth. You get tax-free withdrawals for qualified expenses. And, there are some drawbacks because, you can't pay for everything, right? It has to be qualified expenses. There's different fees from plan to plan, right? So you got to check with the plan providers. And then, obviously it has to be used for education. So if you decide to do your child starts to do a business or grandchild starts to do a startup or something like that, you can't use the dollars in the 529 plan in an efficient manner to fund that, right? There'll be some penalties and some fees, taxes. So what are some, qualified expenses? So, all of these I've pulled from other websites. I'll resource them at the very end, but tuition fees are the number one thing that 529 plans get used for, right? So college, vocational school fees, all are qualified expenses. If your child is going to private school from K through 12, you can use up to $10,000 per year. Books and supplies that are required part of the coursework are eligible expenses. Computers, software. If your child is taking an art class and they need access to like Adobe Photoshop, that would be considered a qualified software if it's part of the coursework. Room and board, if it's a college expense, right? So not like an apartment, but like if you're on a dorm, if you will. And if there's any other special equipment needed.
Do you say not like I don't know that? Did you say not an apartment? Can you use it for?
Yeah, it's supposed to be college housing is what is how it's defined. So it's housing related to the college. So,
cool.
So let's first pause and just understand what is actual overfunding. And it's as simple as it is. It's you have more money in the plan than you need, right? So there's overfundings when there's a residual balance left over in the 529 plan, right? And then there's a few reasons for this. Most common could be like scholarships. If you get a full ride scholarship, and you're in a great position because you don't have that expense. But then what do you do with your 529 plan? There could be a change in education plan, or a change in costs. For example, some people may be saving for private school, like an alma mater, if you will, and then they decide to change and go in-state or out of the country, right? You can't use 529 plans for out of the country schools, right? It has to be a U.S. based school. Another thing could be military academy, or you going through ROTC, or you may have one child that you're using a GI Bill and they don't use it and it goes to another child that you had a 529 plan for. Could be a situation. Another one is there could be an inheritance, or there could be a trust that is set up that's specifically for educational payments, right? I think it's a 503c trust, the education trust. But anyways, it's I've seen these happen in different formats. Just a quick story, Josh. We once worked with a client, husband and wife. The wife was an engineer and invented something that got sold to another company, and they got a lot of money from that.
Wow.
They weren't able to have children by themselves, so they had no kids. But for all their nieces and nephews, if they attended their alma mater, they paid for 50% of their tuition, and it was beyond what the gift amounts were, right? And so they could write a check directly to the financial institution, and it was not considered a gift, right? So that is, that does happen from time to time. But
Amar, long time ago, probably 20 years ago, she had funded her 529 plans when they first came out. I remember they had like $400,000 between. So my client's mom funded it for his children. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like in 2005. 2006, like 400,000 their 529 plans, and they're just going to some school in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man. It's like they're not going to spend all this money. Whew, it was pretty. Because remember, you can still do that. She could fund. I'll never forget that 5 years worth, and back then it was like $13,000 annual exclusion for each kid. And I mean, it was crazy, man. I couldn't believe how much money she had. It's nuts.
Well, it's like when you have a married couple, it's like accelerated, right?
Exactly.
So you can do that gift from just assuming a husband and a wife, it's each, right? So right now it's about 180,000 that you could do, if you want to accelerate that. So some of the risk and consequences of overfunded plans is, there's going to be taxes and penalties to kind of consider, right? The sooner you address this overfunding, the better situation you'll be in, right? So just imagine, if you do a calculation and realize that you're going to be overfunded, or let's say you have 3 children and your first child's getting a scholarship, and you realize, oh my God, I've overfunded for that child. We should probably change the beneficiary to child number 2, 3, or whatnot. It may be important to address that sooner rather than later, right? Absolutely. And you can start using some of the rules in there to kind of start taking money out sooner. For example, if you have children that go to private school for K through 12 and you're saving in a 529 plan, you're probably paying that private school just out of your pocket, whereas you probably want to take money out of the 529 plan at that point to pay for school. There's a lot of calculators online, but oftentimes I find that an advisor can provide guidance on what your options are, but also from an emotional standpoint, right? Well, what is the right solution? Because you don't want to penalize your child that gets a scholarship by taking those funds and giving it to another child, right? So there's a lot of factors to kind of consider there.
I can't stress that enough, Amar. It's like, Bobby got a scholarship and Jimmy didn't, so we're going to take Bobby's money and give it to Jimmy. And Bobby's like, well, what? Jimmy's being rewarded for his incompetence, essentially. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And this happens because, every family is different, but you have to define. I would say sometimes equal is not fair.
Yes.
And fair is sometimes not equal, right? So you just got to work through some of those conversations, if you will.
That just goes with basic estate planning too, Amar. A lot of people, they just want to split it even Steven. I said that might not be the best way to go about it. And so sometimes I would say, I'm sure you've done the same. It's like, look, tell Bobby I'm the bad guy, the financial advisor. It's not, mom, we'll say Susie's mom. Well, it's not me. It's my financial advisor. It's Josh. He's the bad guy. Yell at him, and I can take it. So I always say, like, look, man, let's make this equitable, but also within common sense. So pin it on Amar. Say Amar's the bad guy, so that way the mom doesn't feel like she's taking advantage or being, you know what I'm saying. So that's another reason to put it on the financial advisor.
Yeah.
Of course, I just put it on you anyway, Amar. I saw the markets are down. Blame Amar.
Yeah. So most 529 plans get spent down. Let's just make that upfront, right? Like most 529 plans, with the cost of college these days or universities, most 529 plans get spent down. A majority of plans that are overfunded fall into these three buckets, and most of them are less than $10,000, right? And if you're in that case that it's less than $10,000, I mean, just withdraw it at that point, right? Like the impact, right? So if we look at that $10,000 and let's say $5,000 was basis and $5,000 was gains, right? So you got a $500 penalty and ordinary income tax on that $5,000, right? It's, even if that's 50%, you get $7,000 out, right? And so it's still a okay situation to be in. The ones that people struggle with more is when they have less than 100,000, and then there's few, kind of like your story, where they have 400,000 in each. There are definitely over 100,000, right? And really, these are the two that there needs to be some planning work that helps address this. So there are a number of options, right? And when I was typing these slides out, I did a little mistake here with the numbering as I was going through, but I will, a number of options.
You were drunk, Paul. You were drunk.
I made pizza last night for dinner. Yeah, so I did indulge in pizza and probably had a beer or two there. Changing beneficiaries. So that's the first thing, right? Like the first thing for most people as a common option is to change the beneficiary from one sibling to another, right? We see this all the time. So remember, there's ownership, and then you have successor owners, right? So if you were to pass away, who's the next person in charge of that account? And then you have beneficiaries of the account. And I should say that that's also state dependent. Sometimes in certain states, if you were to pass away, the beneficiary, who the direct benefit of that 529 plan becomes the owner, right? So it's state dependent. The other option is start spending in a more aggressive manner, right? So use the funds for qualified expenses. So almost 85 to 90% of 529 plans are only used on tuition, right? So there's a larger opportunity for room and board, books, like other things that you can use it for. Start spending it that way. The third thing is, with the Secure Act, you can do a secure scholarship withdrawal and avoid the 10% penalty up to 10,000. So, you could definitely take a look at that.
I didn't know that. That's cool. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. You can do also up to 10,000 a loan repayment. Remember, 529 plans were not part of. You couldn't make a qualified distribution to pay off a loan in the past. With the Secure Act, now you can do up to 10,000. So, if you're in your last year and you have an overfunded 529 plan, it may be worth taking a $10,000 loan, educational loan, because the payments don't start till the school is
until you graduate.
Until you graduate, and then on that first payment, use your $10,000 distribution to pay it off, right? So that's another way. So really, number 5 here is you could just take a withdrawal, right? Like, pay the taxes and penalty, and then look elsewhere. I kind of look at
if grandma put a 529 in for a kid when the kid was newborn, I mean, that's 18 to 22 years of tax deferred growth. So yeah, it might suck to pay 10%, but man, it's 10% on significant growth. You know, I mean, that's that's
Yeah.
of a penalty, I'm saying. So
Yeah, I mean that is one of the key things to look at. This is kind of like an annuity where you have that tax
yes.
deferral component, right? And in an annuity, if you withdraw pre 59 and a half, unless you're doing like a income annuity or something like that, which is a regular withdrawal, there's also penalties there, right, in terms of paying ordinary income taxes. Number 6 here is, if you have more than enough wealth, I've seen some families use this as a legacy planning tool, that we're going to take these funds and then use them for grandchildren, right? So if you have $30,000, $40,000 left over, you can just leave it in there. And when your kids have grandchildren, change the beneficiary at that point in time. And
that's huge. That's huge.
So you're adding, potentially another 20 to 35 years of deferment and taxes and compounding, right? Obviously, you could do nothing, right?
I was going to say about the option, whatever the second 4 is, that's basically the reinvention of the stretch IRA. I mean, I know it's not an IRA, but remember this, you got rid of the stretch IRA. Well, now you can stretch your 529 plan for multiple generations. We're talking decades of tax deferred, if not tax free growth.
You got to think. So let's think about this. So when you opened it for your child
right.
must have been like 5, right?
Right.
They graduate 22, right? So that's 17 years.
Yeah.
Then it's probably another 10 years before they get married, probably another, and then they have kids after that. So it's another 20. You're talking about 40 to 45 years of tax deferral you can get on those initial dollars.
Big time. Big time.
So I guess number 7 is do nothing, right? So you just keep it, money that's in a 529 is a gift, right? So it's outside your estate.
Yes.
You just do nothing, and then the new owner, it's up to them to decide what to do with it, right? In 2024, so I guess it's number 9. If you've held a 529 for 15 years, you can convert up to the contribution match for a Roth from that 529 into a Roth each year until you use up the max of 35,000, right? So that could be something that you consider as your child graduates college and you have excess money and they get their first job, as like, hey, I'm going to take, I'll fund your Roth for you for those first couple of years, right? And make a matching, have them put in the pre-tax or whatever at their work, and then you do their Roth IRA through the 529 transfers, right? And number 10, and I see this from time to time, is when you're in retirement, after all your travel is all done, you're going to start to look for new hobbies and things to do. And a lot of vocational classes or community college classes offer a good way to get social engagement as well as learn new skills and new hobbies. So I have had clients that take, swimming classes. I've had clients that take pottery classes, with the spin wheel, like clay, I guess what it's called. Classes at community colleges and in retirement, and you could use the excess funds of 529 plans to pay for that, right?
100%.
I think the thing that's important when we look at those 3 cases that we talked about earlier is that, we're really talking to the bottom 2 here, right? And the bottom 2 here, you can do a combination of these, and let's just draw it out. Like, let's say you did the Roth conversion of 35. You did the last year, you got a loan for the last quarter, if you will. That's 10,000. You did the scholarship match. That's another 10,000. You explored room and board, on campus room and board, and you could use some more. I mean, we're talking, it's an easy way that you could probably get, 70 to 100,000 out of a 529 plan once you know it's overfunded.
Does 529s allow you to pay like health? I don't know this. Maybe you don't either, but
Yeah, health insurance. That's a great question, and it depends on the college and the state of the plan, right? So if your health insurance is embedded as part of your overall tuition, yes, the 529 would cover your health insurance, right? But if it's a line item and it's a separate item that you're getting, then it will not cover. Okay. So I guess that's a gray zone where it's yes and no, just depending on the state and how your school bills.
That's something else to look at, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Sure.
I mean, another one is transportation, right? Yeah. Like if you have to pay for transportation within the school, that's a gray area of yes and no, right? It's not saying that you live at home and you drive to school and you park on that, not like that, but within the campus itself. But yeah, so I mean, look, here's 10 different things that you can do to really accelerate withdrawals out of a 529 plan. Here are some resources that I use to put these slides together. And then we have Q&A here, and we're exactly at 26 minutes. I'm seeing 2 or 3 comments come in. I don't know how to share these comments. Do you have a way of sharing them?
No, I just read them. That's fine.
Hey, Tom says, is there any way to move money from an IRA to a 529 plan to help grandchildren out? I don't think there is.
I don't think
Unless there was this one thing with Coverdale IRAs, and I think the max there was 2,000. So I mean, it's not going to be a huge impact.
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how you do that actually. I don't think so.
We got Bob A. He says, I can only see Josh's comments also. I think there's something, some destinations won't get comments. Learn more.
Something wrong with me, Amar. Something wrong with me.
Yeah, well.
Just while you're looking at the comments, I interviewed the guy, 529, his name is Joe Hurley. I forgot, was Saving for College. He had written a book. I think it's savingforcollege.com. And he sold 529, his 529 business to like Nationwide Insurance or something like that. I interviewed him. Great guy. He is now a maple syrup farmer in upstate New York. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Great guy, man.
Drew said, Amar is great. Thank you. Josh needs to think about, no, just kidding. I'm a college teacher and will share this with my students that have extra 529 funds. Hey, I'm open to sharing the actual deck too. I'll fix the number thing there and we can get that to you somehow. Just reach out to us. Again, if
reach out to Amar, not to me, because I don't have it.
If you want to reach out to me, the easiest way is to go to our website, which is clientfirstcap.com. And there's a contact us there and put your questions in there or phone number, and we'll just turn around and give you a call. We also have a newsletter that goes out once a month, and that newsletter is the sign up for that newsletter is on our website as well. And then our YouTube channel is Client First Capital Learning. Please like, subscribe, join my channel, please, so that the YouTube gods can bless me with more viewers.
Right on, man. Any other comments in there?
I don't see anything else. I think that is it.
I just think 529s are very underutilized. I don't even talk about that much, actually. But I think, and the reason is because a very select group of people can use it. But, man, if you got some money, and they're free from income tax. They're free from it. They're not part of your estate, and yet you still control it. There's no other asset that you control that is not part of your estate. It's crazy. And I know right now, like, we don't need to worry about estate tax. Well, some states do, but it's in your estate, your control, but you don't have it in taxable part of your taxable estate. There's nothing else like that, Amar. And I just I don't talk about it enough. I know that for a fact. And I just something that always gets me fired up, and then I always forget.
Tom's asking if you're going to do locals tonight.
Yes, Tom, I'll be on locals. Is that Tom Albrecht?
Yes, it is.
Oh, Tommy. Oh, boy. Yes, I will be on locals at 7 p.m. Eastern, amigos. So join me on locals.
What is
Josh,
Locals?
it's a so basically there's a bunch of alternative sites other than YouTube. When YouTube was really hammering certain people, me, we'd go to Subscribestar, you go to Rumble. Then Locals, I think Locals and Rumble have their kind of affiliation. I just like Locals. It's fun. You can post stuff there. You can do live streams. I do a live stream every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's just a group, probably 15, 20 people. And it's fun, man. And it just, we just shoot pardon my French, we just shoot the shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's fun. And very much enjoy it. And you don't get trolls or anything like that. And, like guys like Tom, I guarantee if I saw Tom, we'd be best buds. We don't agree on some things. It's fun, man. Just, it's holding each other accountable in a good way. But yeah, locals.com and my thing's on there for sure. So
cool. All right, we're at 30 minutes.
Gotcha, Mar. Thanks for being here, brother. And 2 weeks from now, just real quick, we're going to be talking about long-term care. It's going to be, we're going to crush this, and we might even go longer, Amar, because I think we'll get. I want to advertise that because I think that's a big deal, man. And when I say advertise, I just want to get it out there in the ether well before we do it, because I think that'll get a lot of views, and people have a lot of questions on that. So that might be a longer one than just 30 minutes, long-term care, because everyone has that as an issue for sure.
Yeah, we got another comment right here at the end. So Bob says, I used for both of my kids. With growth, my son got 2 years free at UTSA. I think that's University of Texas, San Antonio.
Yep, the Roadrunners. I think they're Roadrunners.
My daughter got about 1 year free. It's a good deal.
Is that Bob A?
It's correct, Bob A.
Bob A. Guys crushing down there. I want to see Bob A and Tom get into a massive brawl because they'll both be on Locals. I want them seeing the fight. Fight for my love. Fight for my love, Amar. All right, good luck with your daughters in soccer. Give them a big hug. All right, God bless, Amar. We'll see you, man.
Bye.
Thanks for being here, everybody. I don't know what happened to my freaking comments. Crazy. No comments. Sorry. It's nuts, man. What the freaking YouTube? Am I banned from YouTube because I dare question whether or not a dog should pee outside? All right, I'm going to get out of here, my friends. I don't know what's going on. I can't see anybody. I don't know if anyone's here. Live on Locals tonight. And don't forget, I can't tell you to subscribe to Amar's channel. Can't say anything positive about Amar, apparently. But I can say, hey, if Amar gave you his contact information, give the man a solid and sign up for his YouTube channel. I can't even say that apparently, so I'm not saying anything. So that would seem like an endorsement. So Bernie Madoff can do whatever the hell he wants, but if I say anything even remotely positive about Amar, it's considered an endorsement. So I'm not saying anything about Amar. Amar, I don't even know who that guy is. Amar, I don't know who that guy is anymore. All right, so we're gonna get out of here because I don't know what's going on my YouTube channel. All right, God bless.